Welcome back, guys. What's happening? Yeah, so you just seen a video from the other day talking about the new AIRMAKS range of tripod that's out. Real big, chunky, leg sturdy bit of kit and equipment, that is. Bit more info on that. I think the price range on that is about $300 to $350. So you're looking at that kind of margin, and well, they're available. So yeah, and they should be advertised on the UK AIRMAKS Arms websites very soon. So. If they're not, drop me a message, let me know, and I'll have a word and speak to the importer, see what's happening. But we are not here to talk about that. As you can see, I'm back in my boot room. That's because production on the production on the new studio is slowed up a little bit. Manic with my day-to-day business. It's ridiculous. So bear with me on that one. But what I'm here to talk about is my crate, my AIRMAKS ARMS KRAIT X in 25 caliber. I'm getting asked a lot of questions on what it is that's tuned about this and how I've tuned it and what's best, what works, what doesn't. So we'll start from the beginning of it all. Because initially I had this set up for pellet, and I was using, for me, I was using the JTS 33.8 grains, and yeah, they work phenomenal like this. And you know, so did the JSB 3394s. They worked amazing. But yeah, I think just how this was set up and this particular machine barrel, CZ barrels in it, it just really liked them 33.8s. Just really liked it. And with the JTSs, they like the speed. So initially, I had this tuned at 908 feet per second with a really low deviation. I think the deviation was like 1.1. It was stupid low. Laser accurate, absolutely. It was a tap driver. So yeah, in AIRMAK, I had this all set out. So this was like my bench and my speed gun. Bench, I didn't do very well in bench, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not a bench shooter. It was my first ever time bench shooting. First relay, absolutely terrible. I was hitting the wrong targets, losing points. Second relay, after taking advice from a few amazing South Africans, one guy for sure that you may have already heard of his name. It is Gerhard. Yeah, solid piece of advice. Piece of paper, grid system of whatever target is. So if it's 4x5. Draw it, and everyone you take a shot at, tick it, and that way you don't double shot your target. So yeah, anyway, but I had this tune for the 33.8, and the way that was tuned is the regulator, which is, obviously, spin this around a little bit, of course it would. There's your rear reg pressure. So that's your rear reg, and that's your bottle pressure, that gauge there. So when it comes to tuning this, there's obviously a few videos already out there, but we are using this regulator here. Obviously this is the Mark IV. This is one of the newer regulators. Some of you may have the old square ones. I kind of prefer the older ones. That's because you can go up and down under pressure. This one you can't. What happens is you can go up in the reg, and if you go past where you need to go at, a little trick is, because obviously you can't do it under pressure, so it's drain the air. You can cheat on this one if you didn't already know. So swinging around, just above the bottle pressure is a 3mm Allen key. What we do is I use circlip pliers for the Mark IV valve, and we wind it in to lower the pressure. So what we do is get 3mm, crack it open, air comes out. Let the air drain out, and then wind that in at the same time, then lock it off, and then your reg pressure will drop back down. So if you shot it over and it went to 150 and you want 120, just crack it open and then wind it in, lock it off, and you'll probably be at 80 or 100 bar, and then you can work back up nice and gently. So yeah, the tune for this then on the 33/8, all the 33/9s, they're both what this, you know, give or take. I had this at 100 bar. That's what my reg pressure was for this 25 cal, 100 bar, and everything else was worked off the hammer. So if you don't already know, this side of it, the magazine feed side, we'll spin it around just so you can see, just here, and I don't know if you can see that very well. But there's a 2.5mm Allen key grub screw that will slack off the hammer and again work it nicely. Once you've sort of took the bar with the Allen key, I just removed that and used my fingers. It's a lot better to work with that. Makes it a bit easier. I did make a little end cap to go on there. I'm going to make another one actually. Make a little, it's an old end cap, just makes it easier to make micro adjustments on the hammer, and that's all I did. So I started off low, so I started around about the 840 mark and worked my way up. And what I was doing is looking for a good speed and a good group at the same time. And then what you will see, and may have already heard some of the videos of tuning, is you want to find the plateau, which is obviously get to that speed where it's the best. So if it's 970, 972, 971, 970, if it's consistent, then they're saying you want to take away 3% of that. So 970 take away 3% is like 968 or 967, whatever it will be. And that's what they say this is best tuned at. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. 0.5%. That's what works the best. That's on my Catran, and that's on this 0.5%. So when I tuned this, it was like 908 feet per second, I think, with the JTSs, and then take away the 0.5%. What we're looking at is like a 997, 96 feet per second, and all we do is just gently back that off on the hammer until we get there. The plateau will still be there. But that's that 0.5%, and that's, again, after speaking to another team member, he agrees, obviously, like, you know, after all of this stuff we're working out, we found that was the best number. So find your plateau, whichever line it is, whatever the speed is, where it's all consistent, take away 0.5%, and all you do is back that off on the hammer to that speed that's been calculated, what it works out to be. And that's where you find the best harmonically balance between the hammer strike and the valve. So they're kind of nicely in sync. But yes, pellet wise, I'd say 33s, 100 bar of pressure, and then obviously everything works on the hammer. Slugs wide of it, so this now has been retuned, and my go-to favorite slug is the Zans. Of course they are. Everyone loves the Zan. Zan 33 grains. I know a lot of people using heavy ones. This likes the 33s and 38s, and for me it's the same tune. So the 33s are at 970 feet per second with a 1.9 deviation, and for that the reg's set at 135 bar, thereabouts, and again worked on the hammer. And the 38s are around about 940 odd, nearly 950 feet per second, works in the same group, and all it is there's just a slight drop. So I don't really have to adjust anything for this because I already know what the drop's going to be. I don't really have to zero that much. So yeah, once I've learned everything, and again, thanks to D&T Optics, big shout out to them for supplying me this little bad boy. The one scope, if you haven't already seen it, or you haven't even got one yet, get one. Wicked bit of kit. Again, said this before, this glass is amazing. The reticle is phenomenal in detail, helping with all the graphicals inside of it, your measurements, your sizes. Also, the center point is a real fine dot, so you really hone in onto that center point where you want to put that slug or that pellet on target. It really helps hone in. But anyway, yes. So because I know the holdovers, and I've obviously I learned the scope, learned the rifles and its behaviours. It's just a laser beam. So yeah. Tuning side of it, this is what we're talking about most of all in this video, is the tuning. So again, obviously slugs are about 135 on the reg, and this is my tune. Obviously, it's 135 on the reg, and the hammer's wound in. Can't say how far. You've got to find that out yourself. That's all the fun of tuning. And pellet wise, if you want to use pellets, look at 100 bar. So yeah. Also remember, if you're going to shoot pellets, this is the X is obviously it's an unchoked barrel. They work phenomenally out of it. They really do. But I had really good results. I took the 520 barrel off another chrono I've got, and I actually had better results from that barrel compared to the 700mm barrel. Just because I think the choke barrel just preferred them pellets a bit better. It definitely preferred the JSBs in the 520mm barrel. So if you get the Kraiit L in high power, you want to use pellets, definitely 33.9s. If you're going to go for the X because you feel like you want slugs and maybe pellets every now and then, whatever else, go for the 700. But any questions or queries you have on the tuning side of this Kraiit or any other Kraiit you have, drop us a message. I'll always endeavour to get back to you. Any information that I don't know, I'll always find out. Any other, like, if there's anything in particular you'd like to see a demonstration of, a video, and that I've had people DM me personally, not really through YouTube, but definitely on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, have a look. I get people messaging me asking just a little personal video for themselves on how to anything, rectify an issue, tuning, degassing, removing, adding, whatever. So yeah, again, if you kind of like this content, and there's going to be a lot more coming out, especially on the hunting side of it, and also a little venture that myself and a colleague are on, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be launching soon. And if you're fortunate enough, and if you're watching this in the UK, we're at the Yorkshire Shooting Show, obviously, pop over and come and say hello to us. And you'll also see the nice launch of my new venture. That again, me and a colleague are taking, which we hope, especially in the UK economy, helps people get what they need as such. But anyway, so yeah, any questions in regards to the Kraiit, drop us a message or a comment. I'll get back to you. Yeah. In the meantime, all I ask you is please subscribe. Get your friends, family, mums, dads, grandmas, aunties, uncles, even the dog, get them subscribing, get them sharing it. A little goes a long way, honestly. I'm a very small fish in a very, very large pond. And again, the AIRMAKS Arms brand itself is still a baby. We're still only 6 years old, but we're taking the world by storm, bit by bit, And if you didn't know, obviously with AIRMAK, in fact, we'll talk a little bit about AIRMAK. I don't think I have. So this year, obviously, went AIRMAK, as I just said there. The Kraiit came with me as my bench and my speed gun, where I finished. I got all the way to the finals in speed, so that puts me top 20 in the world for speed shooting. Obviously, I lost against because one of the rounds I was at was against the reigning, or the former reigning world champion for speed. I only got knocked out. Very close though, not gonna lie. I think there's actually videos on the AIRMAK Instagram and YouTube which you can see. It was very close. So following that, at the bench, obviously I didn't do too well at bench, as I explained. It was all new to me. But PMC, I'd like to have done better, but Utah's environment is absolute brutal. So if you're coming from Britain to America to shoot in the mountains, get ready for a whirlwind. Oh my God. So yeah, with the dust and the heat, obviously there was a lot of retuning, because obviously we're 4,000 above sea level, not 240 feet above sea level. So we're 4,000 feet above sea level. So now you've got a thinner atmosphere, barometric pressure took into account. You know, it's everything. It was just, yeah, you know, as soon as I filled, basically got out there, filled the guns up, and with the first magazine went out was all at like 1,060 feet per second, 1,070. Although I tuned everything here in the UK at 960, I was 60 feet per second faster. And let me tell you, them H&M 30s out of these CZ barrels did not like that. So, but anyway, I use the Catran Pro X for PMC, which, thanks to the environment, decided to blow a seal, which was a simple seal. It was just around the gauge, no dramas, no bigger. That was 10 minutes before my stage started. I had to strip it, rebuild it, get it back out. New data, oh, nightmare. But I came 10th. Yeah, came 10th. So it's not too bad. I'm ranked 10th in the world for PMC. So I'll take that. As well as my other teammates, you know, we had a 4th place and another 10th place for bench in the sportsman class, 4th in the pro. Speed, you know, like I say, 2 of us made it to speed. So, you know, these are definitely a formidable bit of kit. Formidable, and don't listen to anybody else what they say. Once these are tuned, they sit there. There's no knocking, you know, if you knock something, it's going to lose the tune. Nah, don't do that. So, but again, that's my AIRMAKS experience for now. I will definitely get more into depth about it later on. But again, any questions on tuning, the crate and the 25, all throughout the video, again, what I've used. So the information I've given you is my tune, it's the way I work it. So again, I'd say just a little goes a long way. Just give this a like, share it, send it to people, you know, or again, tag the page if you see something on social media in regards to AIRMAKS that they want to know, tag me in it. You know, Evan and Chaz, bang it in there. I'm your man. I'm your man to tell you where we're going at with the high powered side of it. You know, if you enjoyed it, again, like I say, I'll say it again: like, subscribe, share, and enjoy the rest of your day, folks. All right, take care now.